Hey guys, Joe here, 690ADV, 690ADV.com. Yeah, I'm headed into the 690 garage, and yep, we're about to rant and ride. You know what? 2020 is going to be very, very cool because KTM, yeah, they've got something that's coming that's very cool. And if you don't know about it, it's absolutely going to be fantastic. But guess what? Better be on your game or you're not going to be able to get one. Yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it on the rant and ride. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody had a great week. I know they say that every week because, well, hopefully you had a good week. My weeks are always kind of so-so. That's what happens when you run your own company. Everybody thinks being your own boss is fantastic. Well, I got news for you. It's not as glamorous as you might think. You don't get all of those things that you think you would get. You get to do everything. You're the janitor. You're everything. Anyway, enough about my world. Hey, you know what? Thanks to everybody that stopped in Saturday and was part of our live giveaway and contributed and was chatting and was all about it, man. Thank you so much. And congratulations to Joseph in Canada for winning our giveaway. And we'll have another one coming up. And don't forget, we've got one coming up for Patreon only. And it's really cool. If you haven't seen it, I've done a video on it. It's a motorcycle DVR, and it's about a $220 system. It's brand new. I only tested it, and we're giving it away. We're going to give it away to our to one lucky Patreon member, and that's coming up. I'll have a date on that here in about a week or two. But if you're not a Patreon sponsor, man, think about it. I don't care if it's 50 cents, man. It helps out with SD cards and all that stuff. So every little bit counts. It really does. It helps with the channel some. So anyway, on to the ride, on to the rant, on to everything. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscribe. Make sure you smash that thing down there in the corner. We sure do appreciate it. Hey, you know what? KTM made an announcement. It's not super new news, but it is new news. And if you haven't heard about it, you know, there's mixed feelings about that KTM 790. And, you know, I've seen videos of guys making, you know, it's a bad bike and blah, 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 blah. You know, it's really pretty fantastic. The issues that are with it, there's no real super credible evidence about these so-called claims, but you know, everybody keeps coming down on KTM saying, hey, KTM, you know this and KTM that. You know, if KTM says that it's not KTM's issue, it probably is not a KTM issue. And remember, just because it's a dealership, it does represent KTM, but you know what? You got to hold a dealership accountable. But the 790 KTM Adventure R Rally, if you haven't heard of it, KTM is in development right now. They're test riding it and they're getting it all dialed in and put together to get it ready to go to production. They're doing a rally. They're doing a completely upgraded version of that KTM 790 Adventure R, and they're going to rally that thing out, and it is going to be fantastic. And I mean fantastic. The first main upgrade that they did is they put a whole brand new suspension on that bike. Pictures on screen, you can see them. Yeah, they're putting the Explorer WP Pro on that bike. And if you don't know about that, that is probably one of the finest suspension packages you can put on a motorcycle. It is very similar to the package they run on their actual real rally bikes, their Dakar bikes. So if you're gonna go in and you're gonna bash it, be very careful. It's an 18-time winner. So That's what they're doing. They are upgrading that suspension all the way around, because that's truly where it all begins. A great suspension and a great motor creates a bike that can win. And that's what KTM is, a winner. And that's what they do. So they built that suspension out, and what they did is they increased it 30 millimeters at both points. Now, I know that doesn't seem like much, but what that did is that increased the 790 to 270 millimeters overall across the bike. And for what it is, that brought it to a height of overall of 10.6 inches. That's a big deal. That is a very big deal, especially off-road and when you're getting in it. They built it in a rally style bike. So if you look at the pictures on screen, they changed a lot of it up. They gave it carbon fiber protection around the tank, which is much better than the plastic. It's definitely going to be super, super beefy. And the forks that they did, they used a cone style fork, which is supposed to basically create a much, much better dampening on that front end that's supposed to really soak up the off-road for that gnarly, gnarly off-road stuff. They increased the seat height by not a ton, but just a little bit. But the reason they raised it, and I know everybody that's out there is like, man, I need a short seat height. I'm a short guy. Man, I'm sorry that you're short. But guess what? To be a rally bike or an off-road bike, short seats don't work. Go watch a motocross. Go watch all those guys that ride off-road and do all those things. The manufacturer doesn't care how tall you are. You either can ride it or you can't. So basically what they've done to this bike is they put a whole new suspension in there, beefed it all up, and we're talking like a professional suspension, the stuff that the actual factory riders get on that bike. And that's a big deal. They increased the seat height for better handling off-road. You gotta have a higher seat height. And they increased the height underneath that bike so that it can actually get off-road into the business. Now, this bike is not coming out until 2020. They don't have a ton of information on it. This is not a review. This is just to bring the knowledge to you, to let you know that it's coming, and it is coming. 2020, no release date, only 500 models will be made. Only 500 bikes. So, if you want one, you better start paying attention. And make no mistake, these are not slouchy upgrades. These are professional upgrades. Factory riders get. It's gonna cost you. Now I know that they did a 450 replica. They only did X amount of those. You will never hear one bad comment about that bike. And I know you're not gonna hear one about this one. The actual factory team riders are test riding this bike, and they are so impressed with it. For a twin Dakar style bike or style rally bike, yeah, fantastic. So you better not wait around. If you want one, check KTM out, search them out, and look into it. There is no information on the actual release date, but they will as soon as they get close. But only 500 of the KTM 790 Adventure R Rally Edition is going to be released. So, anyway, I'm Joe, 690ADV, 690ADV.com. Happy Friday, Rant and Ride. Thanks for being part of it, and thank you to everybody. Make sure you check out our podcast on Sundays and on Thursdays, and don't forget our Tuesday 2-minute tips. And we've got some gear stuff coming in. We're shooting some gear video this weekend on some gear that I have that definitely will help you out. Don't forget, down in the description, there's all sorts of stuff that I use and I ride with. So like I said, I'm Joe. If I can help you out, 690adv@gmail.com. Anytime, I will do my best to help you out. Back at the 690 Garage, thanks so much. You guys have a fantastic weekend. And you know what? Get out and find your adventure. 690 out.